Do you feel any of the muscles making slight adjustments? Just moving into a position for where they find just a little bit more ease. Can you just allow the body to make its own adjustments? As we prepare ourselves for our practice. Let's take 5 complete rounds with an extended exhale at our own time and our own pace. Final round. Now, checking in with our seated mountain pose, bring the feet about hip distance apart, the knees. Bring the knees over the heels. Press the feet into the floor. Establish the contact between the floor and the feet, the sit bones and the edge of the chair, and stretch the top of the head up towards the ceiling. Let's find one of our blocks, place it in between the shins, and you can try various orientations of the block. We're going to squeeze the block between the shins, again, strengthening those muscles of the inner thigh, the adductor muscles, the muscles that take our legs in towards the center line of the body. So bring a fairly firm pressure, but definitely without holding the breath. Squeezing in. Let's stretch the arms out to the side while we're holding the block with the legs. Take the right arm over the left and reach around and walk the fingertips onto the shoulders. Let's release, stretch the arms out, and take the arms in the opposite cross. And once again, release the hands. Now let's bring the block up between the thighs. And again, we'll now use the muscles of the upper leg to squeeze the legs in towards center, creating that strengthening in the adductor muscles. Those muscles, as I said earlier, the muscles that draw the legs into center. And let's lift the arms overhead and exhale the hands back to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale down. And final time, inhale, lift the arms overhead, and then exhale. Let's fold over the legs. You may need to slide the block down, and you can either rest the hands on the thighs, the shins, or the floor. Let's inhale, come up. And now stretch the legs out in front of us. Let's cross the hands across to opposite shoulders. And lean the body back in towards the chair. Actually, bring us just a slight bend to the legs. Lean back, use the muscles of the core to control yourself moving back for 1. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, back for 2. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, back for 3. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back for 4. Exhale, forward. 5. And really feel those muscles of the core drawing you up. 5. And controlling you as you move towards the back of the chair. 6. 6. 7. 7. 8. 8. 9. 9. 10. 10. 11. 11. And 12. And 12. Let's come to that opposite cross of the shoulders. And we're going to do another 12 here. So lean back for 1. 1. 2. 2. 3. 3. 4. 4. 5. 5. 6. 6. 7. 7. 8. 8. 9. 9. 10. 10. 11. 11. And we're going to hold on 12 for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And inhale, come forward. You can leave the block in or set it aside. And we'll increase the challenge on those core muscles by either taking 1 or both weights. Just adding them, or no weights, that's fine. So everybody's ready now. Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 'Remember to keep the back nice and long as you lift yourself forward with the core muscles. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And let's just take the arms down to the side. That generated a little heat, I imagine. Let's come to sitting. And we'll just, to do our lateral movements of the spine, we'll just continue to hold the weights. Inhale, make the spine nice and long, stack every vertebrae of the spine all the way up from the sacrum to the top of the spine where it meets the skull, and exhale, lean towards your right side. Inhale, lift through center, lean towards the left side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we'll have to do 6. We'll have to do 24 because I'm counting once on each side. 7. It was not really 24. 8, 9. Try and isolate the movement in the spine. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And come back to center. Just set your weights to one side. Stack the spine. And just notice the effect of that work we've done on the core and on that lateral movement of the spine. Let's interlace the fingers and draw the knee in towards the shoulder, flexing and pointing the toe. Today we're going to hold this gentle hug of the knee in towards the chest for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And either take your strap or use your finger to reach down and grasp the toe and stretch that leg out in front. Draw that. Okay, I'll just wait till everybody's got their foot out there, and then draw the foot in onto the opposite thigh. Just let that leg release here. Maybe give it a gentle rock by lifting and letting the knee fall back. And let's stretch that right leg out towards the side. And then press the heel into the floor, curl the toes in towards the shin, and open that leg out towards the side. This leg can be out in front, or it can even maybe be in a bit of a V. And draw it back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Keep that leg out to the side, and you can either keep the toes pointing towards the ceiling or let the foot come onto the floor. Take your block onto the left side, support your hand on the left side with the block. Just play around with the positioning of the block, and then maybe lift the other arm overhead. Draw that right shoulder back. And think of me placing my hand on that upper hand, and you're pressing into it. And that's allowing you to open up a bit more into this twist. Let's look down. Inhale, come back up, draw the leg in. And let's come back into center and just sway those knees gently from side to side. I realized I didn't get my strap out. So come back to center. Now let's interlace the fingers, find that non-dominant interlace, and draw the left knee in, flexing and pointing our toes. You can circle in one direction and circle in the opposite direction. And again, do whatever you find most beneficial to you as you hug that knee in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release this ankle onto the opposite thigh. And again, gently rock that knee. And again, either using your fingers around the big toe or your strap, stretch this leg out in front. Bring the leg onto the floor. And now move that leg out to the side for 1, 2. Here we're working both the adductor and abductor muscles, 2, of the leg or of the hips, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12. So on that 12th one, either hold that leg out to the side, either press the toes up or turn the foot down, lean the block over onto your right side now, play around with where that block is comfortable and stretch the arm up. For our chair version of side plank. And let's come up to center, draw that leg in, come back to center, and just let those legs roll in on one another. So we've been doing that work with moving the foot in and out and dragging the foot with the extended leg for a number of classes now. And I just wonder if perhaps some of you are maybe starting to notice a bit more range of motion in that, in that movement, and just maybe a bit more ease with the movement. And, the fact that we've done it a fair number of times, probably as we get familiar with a particular movement, we can become a bit more efficient in the way we do that movement. So let's come back to our seated mountain pose once more. Let's find our strap and stretch both legs out in front of us. Take the strap around the feet. Draw the feet in towards us. And as we inhale, put pressure on the strap and begin to draw the shoulder blades together move the shoulder blades in towards the spine, and feel how that upper part of the chest opens up now. Lengthen the spine and tilt the body forward just slightly, feeling perhaps that stretch down that whole line of muscle and connective tissue all the way along the back body. So move to the point where you start to feel tension in the back body. Back off a little bit on your inhale breath, and then on your exhale, see if there's some ease, some room to move slightly deeper into this forward fold. Exhale. Release into it. Inhale. Release some of the tension, lengthen the spine, and then as you exhale, see if you can move just a little bit more deeply into the forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. And this time we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come all the way up. Set your strap aside. And let's bring the legs into a V. Bring the blocks into the center of the V. Lengthen our spine up. Inhale, tilting the pelvis forward. Take this upper body into the center of the V. Let's begin on the blocks at the highest height, working the body into the center of the V and actually feeling the inner thighs in contact with the side of the belly. We can maybe reach those arms a bit more out in front of us. Again, keeping the spine nice and long. Hopefully feeling a bit of release in the inner thighs. Perhaps the hands might come down onto the floor. Breathe here. And we can either lift ourselves up or bring the hands onto the thighs. Lift the upper body all the way up. Bring the hands to meet overhead. And exhale the hands back to heart center. Let's bend the right elbow. Bring the right elbow onto the right knee. Line up the heel, the knee, the elbow, the shoulder, the other shoulder, and stretch the left fingertips towards the sky. Twisting the body away from the right leg. And try and think about lengthening the right side of the ribs. It's not easy to do in this type of a twist. So rather than here, think of like coming up here. Let's inhale, come back to cactus arms. And bend. And take the left elbow onto the left knee and stretch the right hand up towards the sky. This time, lengthening the left side of the body as we twist towards our right. Let's inhale, come back to center. And once again, just let those knees gently twist in on one another. And now walk this right foot out slightly and just let both knees sort of turn in on each other. Now I'm ended up balanced just about on one sit bone. Just letting my left leg come into a strong inward rotation. The right leg is moving into a strong outward rotation. So this is a chair version on the floor. My seat would be on the floor and both legs at right angles. Let's lift those legs up, come through center. Now switch to the opposite side. I'm sort of positioning myself on the corner. Walk. Bring this leg to a right angle. Walk this foot out towards the side. So again, now taking the left leg into an outward rotation, or left thigh to an outward rotation. And twisting towards our chair. Inhale, come back up to center. Keep the legs in that V and then sway the legs in on one another. Walk the feet back to hip distance and let's come up to standing. We'll come to standing and we're going to face, we'll face the seat of our chair, come to standing in front of the chair, facing the seat. Bring the feet hip distance. Lift out 10 toes, spread the toes out, establish your foundation, and think of that squeeze we did on the blocks towards the center line of the body. Squeeze those adductors, strengthen the legs, and then lift the whole inner line of the legs. Lift the inner line of the legs up towards the waist. Drop the tailbone down, lift the pubic bone up slightly. Inhale the arms overhead and exhale the hands back to heart center. Once again, inhale up. Exhale, heart center. And final time, inhale up. And exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, bring the hands onto the seat of the chair and support yourself either with the hands flat on the seat of the chair or wrapping around the edge. And that's going to depend as much on the particular, the size of the chair. You know, if you have a fairly wide seat of the chair, you may be able to put the hands flat. Otherwise, if it's fairly narrow, you may need to wrap around the edge. Let's let the whole sternum descend towards the chair and the shoulder blades roll in or slide in towards the spine, and then let the shoulders roll off or glide off and lift the sternum up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just come to a neutral position. So the shoulders are sort of in that center split space or center of whatever range of motion you found. Let's bring the right hand onto the chair below your face and extend the left arm out towards the side of the room. And wrap that left hand underneath the right armpit, sort of twisting in towards that supporting arm. Inhale, stretch the arm out to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Bring now the left hand onto the chair. Support your body with the left hand and reach the right hand out to the side of the room and wrap it under the left armpit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Come back, bring both hands onto the chair once more. And now let's just step back maybe a little bit from the chair and bend the right knee in towards the chair and straighten out the right leg. So just gently bending and straightening each leg for 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12. Let's step the left leg in towards the chair. Take the right knee back. And just try and create a nice long line from the heel all the way up through the leg to the top of the head. Our left leg inching in towards the shin. And bend the right leg any amount for 1 and straighten. 2, straighten. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12. And now straighten both legs out and fold towards the chair. And step both legs back for a plank pose. Draw back to downward dog. And now step the right leg in towards the chair. Backing that left leg up, bend the left knee and straighten for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now straighten both legs and lengthen the upper body towards the chair. Feeling a lot of stretches in different spots all the way along the leg. Step back. First to downward dog. Come forward to plank. Inhale, back to down dog, and walk the feet in towards the chair. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale the hands to heart center. Now let's come beside the back of the chair. We'll finish off our standing work with tree pose. So, building the foundation in the chair side foot, lifting the outside knee, either staying here, coming to the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh. One or both hands to heart center. Perhaps opening the branches of our tree. Draw the hands back to heart center. Take that leg out, hold it down in front, flex the toes in. And release. Turn around or switch your chair to the opposite side. Foundation, chair side foot. Just lift the heel, come to the ankle, come to the calf. Or foot to the inner thigh. And open up. So remember those adductor muscles that we used at the start of the class. We're using those to squeeze the foot into the leg. Squeeze the leg into the foot. Draw the hands back to heart center. Hold the left leg out in front, curl the toes in, and let's release. Come back down onto our chairs. And find seated mountain towards the front of the chair. Breathe here. Let's walk the legs out into a V. Actually, we'll walk the legs to a V. Bring our blocks back to the center of the V. Inhale the arms overhead and fold into that space in the center of the V. And let's work our way down gradually rather than coming to our fullest expression of this wide-legged forward fold. So beginning with the hands on the blocks, lowering maybe the blocks to mid-height. Again, remembering that we can stop anywhere along this journey into the pose. Stopping at that point where we feel the balance between ease and effort in the pose. Let's inhale, come all the way up. Our hands meet overhead and draw the hands back to heart center. Let's turn to face the right side. Open the left leg out into a V. And lift one arm overhead, the other arm overhead. And now twist the body with the hands overhead towards the chair. And maybe bring the hands down to rest on the back of the chair. And again, only using the hands as a guide. Let yourself twist towards the chair, trying to use those oblique core muscles, the core, to draw you around into the twist. Exhale, come back through center and switch yourself towards the opposite side. So this time, right thigh parallel to the back of the chair. Lift the right arm or both arms up. Twist the body and bring the hands towards the back of the chair. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. Just come back, face forward. Let those knees sway from side to side. And now let's prepare ourselves for final relaxation by taking a drink if necessary, adding any extra clothing or things that you need to help you stay warm and comfortable during final relaxation. Slide yourself back in the chair. And try and find the most comfortable position in the chair that you can. And of course, you're always welcome to come down onto the floor. And a great final relaxation pose is being on the floor with your legs up on the seat of the chair. Just breathing, letting go of the control of the breath, that breath that guided us through our practice. Letting the breath slow right down. I think perhaps thinking of an infant and how when they sleep, their body looks relaxed. The belly just, The belly rises and falls smoothly and evenly. And think about finding that degree of safety, comfort, and relaxation. Letting go of the rigidity of the body. That rigidity that brings shape and form to our body by supporting the bones, drawing the bones into the position where they can carry the weight of the body. But now, rather than finding a point of effort, find a feeling of ease. And let that feeling of ease go beyond the breath, go beyond the body to the mind. Luxuriating in the feeling of well-being that you've developed during your practice this morning. A feeling that comes from moving the body. Relaxing the toes, feet, the shins, the calves, the thighs, the lower belly, the hips, the back, the arms, the wrists. And with your next inhale breath, imagine yourself on the beach and the gentlest of waves brings water just gently over the body. And the water is a perfect temperature. And as the water, that wave moves in, it collects all the tension remaining in your body. And after it reaches its apex, allow the outgoing wave to carry away any tension remaining in your body. And now, deepen the breath, bring movement back to the body. Moving whatever parts of the body feel good to move right now. Slide yourself back towards the front of the chair, or certainly if you feel you need to extend Savasana, continue to rest in your chair, move towards the front of the chair, bring the hands together at heart center. And thank yourself warmly for making time for this practice this morning, particularly at a time of year when we have so many other things that we can do. Thank each other for sharing your practice, for sharing the energy, for sharing the enthusiasm and concentration. And thank you so much to each and every one of you for allowing me to guide you through today's practice. Namaste.